Hi guys, it's Alexandra here. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my top 7 books of 2017. So let's get into this. I have my stack of books over here, and I just wanted to say that I'm going to be sharing these with you in no particular order. The first book I have is Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, and this is a classic. It is my only classic on my list for this year, but it is definitely amazing. This tells the story of Jane Eyre from a young child all the way into her adulthood, and it seems that at every turn she is facing a new set of obstacles. But I think the reason that I really enjoy this story is that our main character, she never gives up. She has times where her courage may wane and she may feel downtrodden and like there's no place for her to go, but she picks back up the pieces and she keeps going. And she finds her way to a better life and a new life, and she's constantly changing and growing with the obstacles that she overcomes, and I just think that this is a wonderful coming-of-age story. The second book I have is When Dimple Met Rishi by Cynthia Menon. So this is a YA contemporary novel. It is a romance, and I don't tend to read too much of this kind of story, but this one really stuck out to me for a couple reasons. I like that our main characters were diverse. They came from Indian American families, and they're both very unique to each other. Dimple, our female lead, is looking to find her way out of the traditional role of an Indian woman by going to college and studying in a field that is predominantly male. And then Rishi, he's very different than Dimple. He is the classic hopeless romantic. He really enjoys sticking with his cultural norms when it comes to the ways of relationships and things like that. The two of them are set to be in an arranged marriage, and when they meet for the very first time, Dimple does not know that she is being set up in this relationship, whereas Rishi does, and so comedy ensues. The two of them continue to get to know each other over the span of a couple weeks at a summer camp, and the relationship that they form is so unique and so special, and I enjoyed it. I am no longer a teen, but I felt like I could connect with many of the things that were being spoken about in this book, and they also reminded me a lot of what it really was like to be at the end of high school and looking towards your future and seeing all of the possibilities ahead of you. Next, I have Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. This is a sci-fi novel, and while I really enjoy sci-fi movies, I have not read a ton of sci-fi books. I think one of my favorite things about it is the way that it was written. It is not told in the traditional kind of paragraph style writing. It's told through instant messages and emails and case files, poems, pictures, things of that nature. So it makes it a really quick read. The pace is quite fast because of the style of writing, and also the story is really intriguing. We're following two teenage characters, Katie and Ezra. Forgive me if that's not exactly how their names are pronounced, but we're following them as they're trying to uncover what is really happening. Their planet was destroyed, and everyone who survived the attack was forced onto these spaceships. Katie ends up on one, Ezra ends up on the other. They both begin to realize that the people in charge on their respective ships are perhaps not telling the citizens the whole truth. And as they begin to uncover what's really happening, things take a wild and crazy and adventurous turn. If you're somebody who's looking to try and get into sci-fi, but you've maybe struggled to do so in the past, this is the book to pick up to try and get into it. Like I said, am not a huge sci-fi reader, but this book did the trick for me. The next book I have is The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. I have talked about this quite a bit in other videos, so I won't take too much time to tell you my love for this, but if you're looking for an amazing fantasy book that will suck you in and will make you feel like you're living in this world with those characters, this is the book for you. Our main character, Kavoth, in this story is sitting down to tell a chronicler his life story. And so he starts the very beginning when he was a young child, and in this book we go with him through his early adulthood when he's at university. This is an amazing fantasy book. If you're looking for something with a rich world and rich characters, this is the one for you. My next book I actually don't have with me right now because I lent it to my aunt to read, and that is Wonder by R.J. Palacio. So again, I've spoken about this book a ton in other videos, so I won't speak too much about it here, but it tells the story of Augie Pullman, who is a young man with a facial deformity, and he is getting ready to start his first year in a public school. The story has multiple perspectives that you get to hear from. You get to hear from Augie and those around him as he navigates that first year in a public school. It is heartwarming, it's heart-wrenching, it really puts life into perspective and reminds you of what's important. And like I said previously, if you work with kids or you have kids, this is a book that you need to pick up. It is a nice, fast, quick, and easy read, but I think it's totally worth it. The next book I have is Banana Cream Pie Murder by Joanne Fluke. This is a cozy mystery in her Hannah Swenson series. It is the most recent one, and I have read a lot of cozy mysteries this year, so the fact that this made my top 7 list really says something about it. I think for me, one of the biggest reasons it made my top 7 list is the ending. So most cozy mysteries, you start the story, the crime happens, and then by the ending, everything is nicely wrapped up, all of the characters are healthy and happy, and are on their merry way to live their lives until the next time that we see them. So this book in the Hannah Swenson series ends in a cliffhanger. We are left wondering what has happened to one very important person in Hannah's life, which we will not know the answer to that until we have Raspberry Danish Murder, which is the next one in this series that comes out sometime in February. The last book in my top 7 is Murder on the Orient Express by Agatha Christie. Again, this is a murder mystery book, but it is a bit different than the previous story I told you. This falls somewhere in between a cozy mystery and your regular hardcore thriller mystery. This is great if you want something really intellectual and get you thinking. You can kind of solve the crime along with Poirot as he uncovers the evidence and conducts interviews. But I think my favorite thing about this is that I just didn't see the ending coming. And with that, I don't want to say any more, but if you're looking for a good mystery, I highly suggest Murder on the Orient Express. Briefly, I wanted to share a couple of honorable mentions for you. These are books that came really close to making my top 7 list, but just didn't quite make the cut. The first one is the illustrated edition of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, which I have back here on my shelf. I talked about this because I read it during a readathon here on my channel, and it was a whole new experience reading that story with the illustrations. It brought it to life again. It felt new, and it's like it had been refreshed. Then my second and last honorable mention is Cookie Dough or Die by Virginia Lowell. This is the first book in a cookie cutter shop mystery series by Virginia Lowell. I really enjoyed this book. This series has quickly become one of my favorites, and I thought this was an extremely solid first book in a cozy mystery series. If you're looking for a story where the main characters are spunky and fun and lively and are easily relatable, I think this could be a great cozy mystery series for you. So those are my top 7 books of 2017, plus a couple of honorable mentions. Let me know in the comments below what your favorite books of 2017 were, because I'm always looking for great new books to try out. And again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the notification bell if you would like to know when I post new videos. And I will talk to you all next time. Bye!